The boxing world is buzzing. Mike Tyson, at 56, is stepping back into the ring to face YouTube sensation turned boxer Jake Paul. This isn't an exhibition match, it's a full-on sanctioned bout. Las Vegas is already buzzing with anticipation and fans are going wild over the prospect of seeing these two clash. The 31-year age difference between Tyson and Paul is a huge talking point. Tyson, known for his ferocious power, is stepping back into the world he once dominated. Meanwhile, Paul, with his youthful energy and massive online following, is looking to solidify his place as a legitimate boxer. This clash of generations, styles, and personalities is a recipe for an unforgettable showdown. The fight is scheduled for later this year at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, a venue synonymous with some of boxing's most iconic fights. Imagine the roar of the crowd as these two warriors make their way to the ring. This fight has all the makings of a modern-day boxing classic. Mike Tyson isn't known for mincing words. The former heavyweight champion recently sent a chill down the spines of boxing fans, and Jake Paul himself with a single bone-chilling message: he's prey. Those two words, uttered with Tyson's trademark intensity, sent shockwaves through the boxing world. It was a stark reminder of the raw power and primal instinct that Tyson brought to the ring throughout his career. Social media went into a frenzy. Memes exploded, fans went wild with speculation, and the hype surrounding the fight reached fever pitch. Tyson's message wasn't just trash talk, it was a psychological blow, a clear statement of intent. Jake Paul, never one to back down from a challenge, responded with his usual bravado, dismissing Tyson's comments as the ramblings of an aging lion. Paul's confidence is unshakable, but even he must have felt a shiver of doubt after hearing Tyson's chilling words. The exchange between the two fighters only added fuel to the already raging fire of anticipation. The boxing world held its breath, waiting for the day these two titans would finally step into the ring together. The parallels between this fight and the biblical story of David and Goliath are hard to ignore. You have the young, untested but agile and confident Jake Paul, stepping into the ring against the older, more experienced and undeniably more powerful Mike Tyson. Paul, like David, relies on his speed, agility and unorthodox style to overcome his opponents. Tyson, on the other hand, embodies the sheer power and intimidation of Goliath. The question on everyone's mind is whether Paul, like David, can use his speed and cunning to overcome the overwhelming physicality of his opponent. This fight is about more than just boxing, it's about the age-old battle between experience and youth, power and finesse, the established order and the up-and-coming challenger. There's no denying the excitement surrounding this fight, but there are also concerns. Some critics argue that the age gap between Tyson and Paul is simply too vast, that the fight is a mismatch waiting to happen. They point to Tyson's age and long layoff from professional boxing as major disadvantages. Tyson, while still physically imposing, is not the same fighter who terrorized the heavyweight division in the 1980s and 1990s. Paul's critics, on the other hand, question his boxing skills. While he's undefeated in his professional career, he's yet to face an opponent of Tyson's caliber. Is this a step too far for both fighters? Only time will tell. Jake Paul is a polarizing figure in the world of boxing. His detractors are quick to point out his background as a YouTube personality and dismiss his boxing aspirations as a publicity stunt. They argue that he's a novice who's yet to face a real test in the ring. However, Paul's supporters see him as a breath of fresh air, a disruptor who's shaking up the often stale world of boxing. They point to his undefeated record, his athleticism, and his willingness to learn and improve. They argue that he's brought a new audience to the sport, one that's younger, more diverse, and more engaged with social media. Paul is undoubtedly a talented athlete with knockout power, as evidenced by his highlight reel knockouts. He's also shown a willingness to learn and evolve as a boxer, training with some of the best in the business. The Tyson fight is Paul's chance to silence his critics and prove that he belongs in the upper echelon of the sport. It's a high-stakes gamble, one that could either catapult him to superstardom or expose him as a pretender. Mike Tyson is a synonym for knockout power. In his prime, he was a force of nature, a one-man wrecking crew who struck fear into the hearts of his opponents. His knockout of Trevor Berbick in 1986, which made him the youngest heavyweight champion in history, is still considered one of the most devastating knockouts of all time. Tyson's power was the result of a perfect storm of physical attributes and technical skills. He possessed incredible hand speed, generating power from his legs and hips, and delivering his punches with pinpoint accuracy. Even in his later years, Tyson retained his knockout power, as evidenced by his exhibition bout against Roy Jones Jr. in 2020. Although the fight was ruled a draw, Tyson showed flashes of his old brilliance, landing several hard shots and reminding the world that he was still a force to be reckoned with. The question now is, how much of that power remains? He's been training rigorously for this fight, and his physique suggests that he's in phenomenal shape for his age. Age is a crucial factor in this fight. At 56, Tyson is giving up 31 years to Paul, a significant gap in the world of combat sports. While age is just a number, as the saying goes, it inevitably takes a toll on even the most elite athletes. Tyson's age raises several questions. Can he withstand the speed and power of a younger, fresher opponent? Can he maintain the pace of a 12-round fight? The age difference adds a layer of unpredictability to the fight. This fight carries significant implications for the legacies of both fighters. For Tyson, it's a chance to add another chapter to his already storied career. A victory over Paul, however improbable it may seem, would further solidify his status as a boxing icon. However, a loss to Paul would be a major blow to Tyson's legacy. It would tarnish his image as a fearsome knockout artist and raise questions about his decision to return to the ring at such a late stage in his life. For Paul, a victory over Tyson would be the biggest win of his career, one that would silence his critics and legitimize him as a boxer. It would be a David versus Goliath moment, catapulting him to superstardom and opening doors to bigger and more lucrative fights. However, a loss to Tyson, while not unexpected, would be a setback for Paul's boxing aspirations. It would damage his credibility and make it difficult for him to secure fights against top-ranked opponents in the future. Let's be honest, the financial incentive behind this fight is a major driving force. Both Tyson and Paul stand to earn a hefty payday, potentially their biggest ever. The fight is expected to generate massive pay-per-view buys, with fans eager to witness this clash of generations. For Tyson, the financial windfall offers a chance to secure his financial future and potentially invest in his various business ventures. For Paul, the financial rewards are equally enticing. A massive payday would further solidify his status as one of the highest-paid athletes in the world. While the money is undoubtedly a significant factor, it's important to acknowledge the competitive spirit that burns within both fighters. Tyson, despite his age and wealth, still possesses the heart of a champion, a desire to compete and prove that he can still hang with the best. Beyond the sporting aspect, the Tyson versus Paul fight is a cultural event, a spectacle that transcends the world of boxing. It's a clash of generations, a collision of old-school values and new-age sensibilities. The fight is a promoter's dream, pitting a boxing legend against a social media superstar with a massive following. It's a recipe for a media frenzy, with every aspect of the fight, from the weigh-in to the post-fight interviews, generating headlines and dominating social media feeds. Paul's rise to prominence is a testament to the power of the internet, where a charismatic personality with a knack for self-promotion can amass a global following and leverage that influence into lucrative opportunities. The Tyson versus Paul fight is more than just a boxing match, it's a sign of the times. It's a testament to the evolving nature of entertainment and the blurring lines between sports, celebrity, and social media. The upcoming fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul is a fascinating study in contrasts. It's a clash of generations, styles, and personalities that has captured the imagination of the boxing world and beyond. Will Tyson's experience and power prove too much for Paul's youth and agility? Can Paul pull off the upset of the century and hand Tyson a loss that would tarnish his legacy? These questions will be answered on fight night, and the world will be watching. One thing is certain, the Tyson versus Paul fight is a must-see event, a spectacle that transcends the world of boxing. Mark your calendars, folks, because this is one fight you won't want to miss.